Today, I'm watching the Twilight Zone Season 1, Episode 32. The previous episode was all about this young man, Roger, who was obsessed with Leela, gets this love potion from a demon. Obviously, that backfires, and we see, what happens to their relationship as she basically is just obsessed with him, as he was obsessed with her at the start of the episode. So, yeah, it was interesting to have love as a main concept through the episode. There was no next time on the Twilight Zone, so I have no idea what this episode is about. Still can't believe that there's this many episodes in the first season. I'm not complaining at all. That is great. I wish there was endless amount of episodes, but of course that's not realistic. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying the show. Definitely excited anytime I get to watch it. So thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Jazzy, okay. Yeah, is this like a set? Like there's random posters and stuff around? What's going on?
I brought along my baby. I thought you might need somebody with a horn.
Not tonight.
Oh, he's not actually booked.
Me? I forgot what the stuff tastes like. 6, 7 months. I'm way up on the wagon.
Sure.
What am I?
That's good. But yeah, those people who were leaving the club gave him a dirty look, so I'm guessing his reputation isn't the greatest right now.
What do you say, Barrett?
Oh, well, there goes your cover. Yeah, that's not going to help your case at all, buddy.
Bad hooching. You got took. You got the crummy end of the stick. Why, Joey? Why?
Yeah, it seems like he was talented at least. Like, clearly, had this gift. Oh.
I can't even talk to people, Baron, because this horn, that's half my language.
Yeah, he feels more confident when he's playing and, can communicate better.
When I'm drunk, boy, I don't see that.
Or uses the horn to communicate.
Beauty.
That's sad. Yeah, he's, not happy with his life, but the horn is the only thing that brings him joy. And, yes, his time stands still. He's a different person when he plays. Aw.
Only when I'm drunk.
But he has to get drunk to feel that way. Oh, that's sad, though. This is a sad episode so far. I feel bad for this guy. And the performances are always so well done. Yeah, and I'm curious, I'm assuming this actor could actually play. Sometimes if there's actors singing, they'll, bring in somebody else for the voice. But I don't think you could. He's clearly playing, yeah.
Hey, man.
Sign it.
The thing he loves the most.
It's now to equip Sousa's band. I need another bugle like I need my taxes raised.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's been to this a pawn shop before, and maybe he's come back and bought it again, but that's sad. I just feel like he's given up. And I like the little details. You can see the stain on his shirt, and he was talking about his apartment with these cracked pipes, and again, it just paints the picture of this character so well. Of course, he's selling it for $25, and he bought it for $8.
What kind of responsibility somebody like you got, Nothing. Nothing at all.
Oh, and he already thinks he's nothing, and now this guy's saying he's oh, that's just adding salt to the wound. Oh. Oh my gosh, the dramatic zoom-ins, yeah. Oh yeah, they love the double exposure and the reflections and stuff, so cool. Dies right in front of his trumpet for sale. Oh, is okay? Or is he in the Twilight Zone now? They said he wanted to leave this earth. Oh, it's a phone. I was wondering what was in there. That's so interesting. Or maybe it's just a police phone or an emergency phone.
Excuse me, buddy. You happen to have a...
Yeah, and everybody's ignoring him. Is he a ghost now? Like the police officer just looked through him, like wasn't even responding.
Big truck and we tangled, and the first thing I knew I was... Well, look, at least you can be a little courteous. I mean...
I'm guessing he's a ghost.
Look at me!
It doesn't seem like he's in a different time, like we're not doing a time travel thing. Yeah, it's gotta be ghost. No reflection. Such a cool shot too. Yeah, I'm very curious how they did that.
Now listen.
No reflection. Yep. Bye.
Now look. Now, something's going on now. Somebody trying to pull...
You didn't make it, Joey. I'm sorry. You didn't make it. You spent your last $8. And that's a tricky shot to pull off because, yeah, oh, you can kind of see some lights, but I'm not gonna... Obviously, the effect is really cool and really well done.
Hey, I'm a ghost. You know, that truck made it after all.
Oh, God. I'm not laughing, but just this realization of it. He's now, like, enjoying the powers of being a ghost.
Time in the very short life of Joey Crown. He was successful at something.
Oh, that's so sad. Just these characters with, like, the low self-esteem. Oh, my gosh. It's so sad. And yeah, he seems like happy now. He's like, finally, I was successful. I'm a ghost. Oh, gosh.
Of course, I don't recognize any of you people. None of you, of course, would have noticed me.
Oh, they don't, what? Maybe we are doing some alternate reality or something? Because nobody recognizes?
I'm not the kind of guy you would notice.
Yeah, he mentioned like a certain police officer right away.
And he used to give me a drink on the house.
And yeah, the bartender and like, yeah, people he would see often.
Rules and orders, isn't it? A big surprise for me. Puts it on the juke.
That's actually really sweet. Oh, that's so nice.
When I was alive.
That bar set almost looks similar to the one we had where the guy time travels and throws stuff at the TV and breaks the jukebox. And I like that, like, for a ghost, they kept him in human form. Oh, yeah, he can hear the trumpets now.
Don't stop it. It's coming out beautiful.
Thanks.
That's all right.
This guy can hear him, though. Interesting. Is this guy a ghost, too?
Not really.
I am. I stepped in front of a rather large vehicle this morning. It ain't good for the health, believe me.
What does he mean by not really a ghost? What does that mean? And he knows his name. Okay, interesting. Are we doing like another guide?
You're not a ghost, you're not dead.
No, I'm not dead. Neither are you, Joey.
What? Is this like a purgatory situation? Oh, the dramatic zoom in. I love it.
The people in the bar, the girl in the ticket booth, and the people in the streets.
They are dead. They're the ghosts, Joey.
Oh, that's sad. Okay.
Let them go on in a life that they're familiar with. They never know for a long while. But that's why they couldn't hear you.
Interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
Curbed.
That you did. Right now you're in a kind of a limbo, Joey. You're neither here nor there.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting like a purgatory sense, like he gets a second chance at life to change his ways.
You've got a choice, you know.
Choice?
There's still time.
Yeah, if he wants to go back or if he wants to stay here, I'm guessing.
See you around, Joey.
Hey.
And to have him pause under that one light for his line.
Name! I didn't get your name!
My name? Call me Gabe.
That's what he said he was like when he played the horn. Yeah.
Gabriel.
Yes. That's exactly what he referred to himself as when he played.
All right, Joey.
The angel. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, and saying like how talented you are, like don't waste it, you know, giving him the second chance. Oh, and the reflection of him still lying on the street. Oh my gosh.
No doctors, no insurance companies, nothing like that. Be a nice guy, huh, pal?
I'm gonna guess him he gives him exactly $25 so he can buy his trumpet back. I do feel like this episode's been a bit predictable so far, but I'm still enjoying it.
You play it beautifully.
A new friend, perhaps? Okay.
Joey Crown.
Will you play some more?
Oh, she seems nice. Okay.
It isn't it? Maybe you could show me some of it.
Okay, Joey. Possibilities? Oh, so excited.
Second Street. We could go in and listen to some good jazz and
Joey Crown, who makes music.
And he's just so excited. Oh, my heart.
To look and to listen. Joey Crown, who got his clue in the Twilight Zone.
I'm glad it had somewhat happy ending. Yeah, definitely still a little predictable, but a cute ending for sure. So that was my first time watching The Twilight Zone, Season 1, Episode 32. I enjoyed this episode. We've had a few, I want to say, heartwarming, inspirational episodes before, so it's nice to have that thrown in the mix every once in a while. And yeah, I do feel like it was pretty predictable. As soon as Joey, wakes up, I thought, okay, maybe he's a ghost, and he seemed happy about that, after he threw himself in front of the truck. Again, I feel like it was obvious that he was going to do that, the way he was talking, sells his trumpet, this thing that he had loved, was basically the only thing that brought him joy and happiness, but was also clearly struggling with an addiction, spends his last $8 on alcohol, and that was about to be it for him. So I definitely wasn't surprised when an angel suddenly shows up, and especially the angel that he had just talked about, Gabriel, who also played the trumpet and offers him a second chance at life. I thought maybe we would go kind of the Christmas Carol route where we could see a bit of, oh, this is what your life could be if you continue on this path. But maybe we already knew that given the outcome. Obviously he wasn't doing well, and maybe this is what your life could be, if you made different choices. But no, it's a quick scene, but I love that they had, anytime Gabriel talked, he'd walk right to that light, literally metaphorically, physically this light, standing underneath it and delivering his line and giving Joey that second chance to live his life. And yeah, again, it's not a bad episode at all. It was an interesting one to have with this musician theme. We haven't seen a ton of that before. He did list a bunch of musicians who I'm sure are incredible. I did not recognize their names. Jazz is not an area of music that I'm fluent in, but just to see the performer play, and again, the acting, the performances are always so well done. And let me know in the comments, I'm assuming that the actor who played Joey was a musician in real life. I feel like that would have been too hard to fake. And also given the time that this came out, I've seen other movies and TV shows where, they have a singing scene, the actor isn't the best singer, someone else will, dub that in. And even his facial expressions, you could tell that this is something that meant so much to him. He had that passion for it, and, him thinking that he needed alcohol to play, and that's the only way that he could be this talented musician that he was known for. And we've kind of seen, his fall from grace now, as people don't want to hire him. They don't want to put him on stage because they don't know what kind of performance they're going to get. Not that he doesn't have the talent to back it up, but again, once he starts mixing alcohol into that situation, his friend, saying I'd love to have you out there, but again, I can't do this. There's too much risk involved. And to hear that his friend, bought that record for the jukebox, I thought was a really sweet moment. And I liked at the end we see him meet this girl. They don't, hit you over the head with it. It's this really cute and, short interaction where they just, we assume that they're going to go out at some point and explore New York, and we don't get to see that, but we don't really need to. I think it's obviously heavily implied that she was maybe interested in him. She says she's new, and, just to see Joey, light up and maybe it's not going to be a relationship that lasts forever. And I don't think we necessarily need to see like a fairy tale happy ending where it cuts to like 60 years later, the two of them, in rocking chairs or whatever it is. But I think just the hope. We needed Joey to have hope at the end of this, as an audience member for his character, you wanted to see him have something. And, he's like, I'll play you anything, anytime you want. He's just, even mentioning his apartment he wasn't super happy with, and, he wasn't dating anybody. So to see even a friend, like even if they just become friends, I think he needed something like that. And he immediately stands up and is so excited to show her his favorite spots in New York, and like, oh, let's go listen to jazz here, and I'll show you Central Park. And she definitely also seemed interested in his music, which I think is a big part of his life. So that's obviously important. And that's kind of what drew her to him in the first place, is she heard him playing. And yeah, I like that they tied him in. Is it a little cute and cliche? Maybe. I don't care. It was a nice way to end the episode. And I think if we would have ended the episode just with sad Joey, playing his trumpet alone again, you might wonder, is he going to try this again next week? You might, be a little bit more open-ended. And especially given that he's had a second chance, he did seem more open and, motivated to change and motivated to actually, try and make something and, really focus on what he has and this talent that he has. And it also seems like that was the reason why he was saved, because he has this talent. And, Gabriel saying like, don't waste it, basically, like this is a gift, that you were given, use it wisely, basically. And, of course, to me, the biggest like takeaway is this: you never know how the day's going to turn out. You never know what, is waiting around the next corner. And, if Joey had died that morning, he never would have met Nan. And, who knows where that's going to go. Like, there's always that opportunity, possibility, with each day. And it was a nice, heartwarming episode. He gets his second chance at life. He meets this girl. It sounds like they're going to get along, and, something might come of this. Maybe, they'll get married. Who knows? But, it was just a nice way to end it, to give our character some hope and, possibilities for the future. Even though I did feel like this was a predictable episode, it was a little bit of a twist to find out that he didn't in fact die when he was hit by the truck. He was in this purgatory situation, Twilight Zone situation, and, everybody else was a ghost. I wasn't expecting that, because it was typical ghost, lore. He has no reflection. Nobody is talking to him. He's just kind of wandering around aimlessly, and there was no time jump. Like, he didn't go back into a different time period. He's right where he left off. And I like that reflective shot of him looking in the window of the pawn shop, seeing his trumpet there, and him laying on the sidewalk right after the truck hits him, and just like, his connection to the trumpet, his connection to music, how important this is to him. And of course, the driver gives him exactly $25 to keep him quiet so he doesn't go to the doctors or get insurance involved. And this truck driver has 14 years on his record of no accidents, and obviously doesn't want to tarnish that. So I wasn't surprised to see him immediately walk in and buy his trumpet again. But yeah, still a great episode. The next episode we know is about this oddball character, Mr. Beavis. Rod Serling was holding up this taxidermied squirrel, and, he's kind of alluding like this is the type of character this person is. So yeah, very curious to see what that's all about. But thank you so much for sharing and this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. But yeah, those people who were leaving the club gave him a dirty look, so I'm guessing his reputation isn't the greatest right now. The thing he loves the most. And I like the little details. You can see like the stain on his shirt. Of course, he's selling it for $25 and he bought it for $8. I'm guessing he's a ghost. No reflection. And to have him pause under that one light for his line. The reflection of him still lying on the street.